My name is Joel, I call you all. You know my story. You know that I'm a South Sudanese refugee. You know that I escaped a war of independence and sectarian violence. You could think that I'm a lost boy, a child soldier, bought and sold to various factions to do their daily work. You may also know that I was in the notorious Casula refugee camp in Kenya before I arrived in Australia. You will almost be right. Mine is a common story. The first word I can remember were my sisters. Come, let's go now. Even at my tender age of 3, I knew I had to obey. This was my heartbeat. It drowned out all the other sounds out of the rain. When I turned, the village was already in flames. Where is Mom? Where is Mom? I ended up at Poltaka Boys Camp, where I became separated from my sister. Here, blankets. Here, shirts. Here, toilets. Go to group 1. After 5, it was always freezing, often below 0. Clean your bunks. Now you, go to General Peter's compound. You, go get me milk from a kettle farm. It was an hour walk up the mountain. Then, the military training all afternoon. The schoolboy beat the drum, we are all very glad to say you beat the drum. We are all very glad. This is school marching ahead. We are marching ahead. Finally, something to eat. The only meal of the day. What life is this for a boy not yet 4? You may ask. I'm not sure if I asked the same question. I needed to escape. It was dangerous. Boys were precious. Boys could fight. But somehow the trucker him managed to cross all the borders without me being discovered. On the 16th of May 1993, I arrived at Casula refugee camp in Kenya. This was the day that I learned that there were days, months, and years. I spent the next 11 years of my life in Casula. Casula made me what I am. I know what you have seen of life in Casula on your TV set. But for me, it was home. Life in the camp was fun. Up in the morning, straight to school. I was good at school, and the teachers liked me. I was made school captain. After school, straight home to play football by the riverbank. Best of all, the Christmas celebrations. I remember bright moonlit nights, swimming in the river, dancing, singing. Oh, son, I get a Soon there were tensions with the locals, the Turkana people. One night, I heard a loud drumming. My first instinct was to hide. I thought we were being attacked by mob of Turkanas. But the drums were a sound of celebration. Happy New Year! Happy 2000! Happy Millennium! We survived the end of the world! On the 20th of June, 2003, I heard the sounds of the drums again. But this time, it was not a celebration. The Turkanas and the refugees broke their truce and declared war. For 10 days, Kakuma was a battlefield. It took Kenyan police 4 days to restore order, and a week for us refugees to be convinced that it was secure to return. A letter was waiting for me. It was from my mom, whom I had not seen since I was 3. I did not remember her face. I had not even seen a photo of her. Son, your dad and I are well. We know that life at Kakuma refugee camp is dangerous, and Sudan is no better. Your dad and I want you to leave. Go overseas, my son, if there is a chance. Finally, Australia. I thought I can now leave all my troubles behind.
Why do you want to see my face? There is nothing for you to see. You already know me. No, I'm not like them. I'm not like you. I am a refugee. I will forever be one to you. Look here, I have changed my clothes for you. For the death of multiculturalism, the death of political correctness and tolerance. I will not wear these again. I promise to blend in. I will not wear signs that set me apart. Only signs of my labor. I have paid my debt to you in blood. You extract from me my sweat. I pay rent, I shop, but it is never enough. My visa requirement is to explain myself. From the moment I landed to the time I live or die, whichever is sooner. I know I must not complain. I'm out of a camp. I'm not holed up in detention. I'm not spending holidays on Christmas Island. I have welfare. I have Medicare. You begrudge me those, don't you? What right do I have? I should suffer first, prove myself loyal. When Australia meets South Sudan at the World Cup final, I must not be divided. I know where I stand. I want to be like you, in this land of the great forgetting, where the spirit deities no longer have tone, where culture peace reigns. Why am I being forced to remember? Why do you shout every day that I am a queue jumper, boat person, Muslim, un-Australian, non-Australian? I am not responsible for traffic jams in Penrith. I did not take your seat on the train from Parramatta to Town Hall. I did not make your property prices rise. I did not block your views of the bush from your Federation House in the North Shore. I have not profited from these or the wars that you fight. I know your game, and it'll end in tears. You are making me afraid. You are making me hate, so that it's easy for you to recruit me into your machine, to help you protect your elites, the way of life of the very few. Whichever way I lose. If I join in, I become your pawn to vilify another. If I don't, you throw the full weight of the law at me. I am the problem that justifies your existence. I don't want your pity or your understanding. I was born in a place that I do not know, yet I can feel it like a gaping wound in the pit of my stomach. I will never, ever have a home. My heart has abandoned me somewhere. But as I walk through these ghostly gums, crushing the dry eucalypt leaves under my feet, I am surprised as to how well I feel. The heaviness that presses down on my head is no more. I remember the forgotten people that have walked here before me. I take my sustenance from them. You can't take that away from me. All your solid conditions of belonging melt into air. I live here. I work here. I love here. I am Australian.
despite all that happened, I'm not angry. I'm sad sometimes, but I don't resent my fate. I'm positive that the future will be better. I've got a uni degree in Australia and then a job. I have many friends and made a life for myself. But I still long to see my mother's face. Finally, on November 23rd, 2013, I flew to South Sudan to meet her. The plan was she would meet me in Bor, where she had a house, and then we would both head back to our family together to see my dad. It took me ages to get to Bor, where she was waiting for me. Yo, my son! I'm happy to see you! But what have Australia done to you? Why are you so skinny? Mom, this has nothing to do with Australia. These are the genes that you and Dad gave me. It was a happy day. Mom invited Harbour Ball to come and see her son, whom she's not met in 22 years. Two days later, a war broke out in South Sudan. I was in the center of the city, and Mom was at home. We're trying to find a route to our home village to see my dad, but no one was willing to drive us there. Within the 3 days, the war itself arrived in Bor. I was in the center of the city. Mom was at home. Light bullets were fired everywhere. I tried to run home, but a soldier I knew grabbed me and said, "Get out and get back to Australia. I may die today or tomorrow, but you, God will protect you. I know one day you will have a hand in changing this country." The soldier risked his life to escort me to the edge of the town. I left all my belongings in Bor. All I had with me was my wallet, my phone, and my Australian passport. I called Mom, who also told me to leave. She had decided to stay. I joined thousands of others who were getting out of the war zone. I managed to get out. As you can imagine, it was no walk in the park. Maybe one day, I'll tell you about it. Finally, back at Sydney Airport. But guess what? My passport wouldn't scan. They immediately thought I was illegal and held me for questioning. Do you live here? How can we identify you? What are your intentions? Is this really a face in the photo? Do you know why your passport won't scan? Do you live here? How can we identify you? What are your intentions? Do you know why your passport won't scan? Is this really a face in the photo? Do you live here? How can we identify you? What are your intentions? Do you know why your passport won't scan? Do you live here? How can we identify you? What are your intentions? Lipi.
Nalawan Mitigaguru Brook, Pijeri Gordiana Janari, Boobaroo Nagami. Welcome to our country. A welcome to country has been practiced over 40,000 years, and it gives a person the right to walk through our lands with safety. So with that, I'm giving you a welcome to our country from the Darug Nation.